Hello class, welcome. IN222. I'm recording for Unit 3 seminar. This week we're doing cryptology. And as you can see, I'm on the main Brightspace page and where you can find the announcements that you will go into every week to find the unit announcement that I've created for you guys. I will go over to that one now. You don't need to know how to read this. This is simply something that you would, through cryptology, be able to break that down into what it means, right? It's an encrypted code per se. But that's basically what they're using it for. You're going to explore different types of encryption practices and how they work. You'll explore the most common algorithms used in cryptography and how they have evolved over time. You're going to complete this week is discussion board and seminar. Your reading and resources are symmetric encryption, public key or asymmetric encryption, and then hashing. Supplemental readings in quick labs will be the future of cryptanalysis, symmetric encryptions, asymmetric encryption attack, and then SHA-1, a SHA-1 attacks. Then your quick labs, basically practice quizzes, symmetric encryption, public key, same thing with hashing, and then your hands-on lab, which is hands-on with hashing. That should be fun. You do not have a journal this week, and then my information, if you need to text me or email me, are right here, and best times to reach me are between 5 and 9 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Get into this now. We're going to go over your overview and outcomes for the week, and reading, we'll look at those again. So like I had stated, basic cryptology. By the end of this week, you should be able to describe how symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, and hashing work. Your reading this week, kind of short list. Of course, your videos, mostly. Pretty interesting. I've gone through these yesterday. A lot to learn, though. Very cool when it comes to the security, cybersecurity, and cryptography. And then your supplemental readings. Your learning, practice quizzes, and discussion for this week is symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. What's the difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryptions? Explain the advantage of the associated key ciphers of both symmetric and asymmetric encryption. And what do you think is better? It's going to be pretty significant on the two and how to describe those. I look forward to reading about what it is that you guys come up with too. Your lab this week. Of course, like it says, you have a hands-on lab, hands-on with hashing. That should be fun. And no journal for this week. I will go ahead and go on to the quick labs itself. Defense against the digital dark arts. We're getting into, again, the activities. Yeah, we're right here. So, cryptography itself. In your second module, explore different types of encryption practices and how they work. We'll show you the most common algorithms used in cryptography and how they've evolved over time. By the end of the module, you should understand symmetric encryption, asymmetric, and hashing work, how they work. Now, each one, of course, is going to tell you a little more. It's pretty specific on how it is. You'll have a few different narrators here, too, as well. I noticed that. Let's see. We got cryptography, supplemental reading for the future of cryptanalysis, symmetric cryptography, symmetric encryption algorithms, supplemental reading for symmetric encryptions, a practice quiz, Rob, the work of security engineer, asymmetric cryptography, symmetric cryptography part 2, asymmetric encryption algorithms, your supplemental reading for asymmetric encryption, and then practice quiz on public key or asymmetric encryption. Video on hashing algorithms, reading on an SHA-1 attacks, and then hashing algorithms continued, another quiz on hashing. The video for public key infrastructure, certificates, let's see, another reading for the X509 standard. I think that's what it is, if I can remember. Cryptography in action, reading for PGP, securing network traffic, reading for securing network traffic, cryptographic hardware, reading for TPM attacks, rejection, a quiz on cryptographic applications, your glossary, and then a practice quiz for the cryptology, a quick flags introduction if you want to go through that, and then that's the documentation for it. But then there's the lab itself, creating, inspecting key pair, encrypting, decrypting, and sign verify using OpenSSL, and then a little hands-on lab for hashing. I would, even though you only have the hands-on with hashing, I would do this because this is pretty, the hashing has a lot to do with the OpenSSL too, because that's really securing the system security of the links and stuff like that too. So I would just do that. I think it's optional pretty much, because it's not something that it's listed that you need to complete, but I would go ahead and try that out and see how well you do. Because basically when you're creating, inspecting key pairs and encrypting, that's for web. And when you get into the SSH, when you get into the back part of the network system itself, as you're getting in there and you need to encrypt it or decrypt it, or like it says, sign and verify different things in the OpenSSL, you want to make sure that you understand the key pairs and hashing when it comes to that too. So there's not much more to talk about on this week. It's a very, very quick recording, of course, because I'm not with you to tell my stories, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed your day off today, and I hope you have a great rest of the evening and great week and weekend, and I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you and have a great night.